Greetings. Now, with what is happening now, we've been fed, or we are continuously being fed lots of lies, like really lies. Online, on telly, information is given, like is directed to deceive us in a way. Now, what are the purpose of Amagedla, or the purpose of Amagedla, Igedla, or Bokhehla ancestors? Why do they come to us, and what can we learn from the knowledge that they share with us in those dreams? Now, historically, Bokhehla or Amagedla, they were indigenous warriors. I mean, when I'm saying indigenous warriors, I mean they were heroes. They were very good at getting, getting intelligence from the other, and using that intelligence as well to help their kingdom survive, or their people survive, or actually even to prevent a certain situation from getting worse and affecting the communities or the collective. So, meaning that they will go and infiltrate other kingdoms. They will go and see what other people are coming in, like enemies and stuff. What are people planning for the communities, if it is going to be advantageous or is going to disadvantage the community. So they were mainly for the survival, defending as well. So what they will do is that they will recruit a lot of people with big skills, like they will recruit traders, people who will be able to go and sell things from one place to another. So those people, they will go in disguise as if they are traders. They are going in there to sell particular things. Or maybe they'll go as healers. So they'll be going in there as if they're going in to look for plants, herbs. So they'll go in that kind of disguises, so they can infiltrate and see what others are planning and what others are doing, so that they can use that to their advantage, because that was their purpose. So they'll be sent by their kings or queens to go and see what the other kingdoms are doing, or if there are things that they can learn from the kingdom and come and use it as in information that can best benefit the people in that particular area. That is Amagedla. So this will be people skilled in understanding how plants behave, the plants that can be used for messing up people's mind, plants that can be used for healing purposes, plants that can be used to even go into like plain sight disguise. Plants that can be used where you can trick even animals, plants that can be used, I'm talking about, they will have that kind of information that will help understand certain things and certain behaviors, or use people, manipulate people in different ways so that they can get information, right? So Amagedla or Amagedla or Amagedla, they were used, women were used, men were used, different people were used, different age groups were used, and as much as they can be used to gather information, right? They were not just being used for helps, like to heal others and stuff like that. They were used for intelligence purposes. That is Amagedla or Bokhehla or Amagedla. Now, when we're talking about Amagedla, we are talking about really skilled people who knows how to work the other, who knows how to lie, like to lie with integrity. I know that when we think about liars, we don't think about liars with integrity, because we are talking about heroes here, our heroes' ancestors. They were using their lying skills so that they can get whatever that they need to get, right? So that they can get an advantage over something. Or they can be used in a way that the environment needs them to be used, right? Like when I'm saying the environment, I mean that. So they can lie and get information from you, thinking that you're talking to an honest person, right? So that is lying for the benefit of the collective, isn't it? Now, are we using our Gedla ancestors the right way, or are we misusing them? Meaning that when they are coming to us in the dream state with the information that they give us, are we using this information for the collective, or are we using this information for us to gain an advantage over our neighbors, over our families? Or are we using the Gedla information that they give us in dream state for the collective, because they are for the collective, right? Now, when the Gedla ancestors are very much active in your life, that means they'll make sure that they feed you. Remember that these are the people who have dealt with infiltrators, who have dealt with enemies, and some of them, they became ancestors due to some of their mission failed, right? While they were in disguises trying to understand their enemies or the people who were enslaving them, they couldn't do it the right way, or somehow they lost. They became ancestors. So now when they're coming to us, they're coming with the knowledge of what they've experienced and what we can use the knowledge that they have with what they have actually experienced to best benefit us in future. So understanding what they've dealt with, the mistakes that they've made along the way, and understanding what we are currently experiencing, as we can see now with what is happening actually with the Expropriation of Land Act, the new act now, right? What is happening now with in America, we are getting fed lies about what it is actually happening, right? So our Gedla ancestors will be giving us information about what they've experienced with this kind of people, so that in future we use their knowledge to better ourselves. We don't become people who can be manipulated online by misinformation, or we become people who are manipulated by people coming in, they're using our medicinal knowledge, and they go and package it in different ways, and they come and resell it to us as if we didn't come with the knowledge ourselves, right? So that is when our Gedla ancestors are trying as much as they can in those dreams to make sure that we are what? We are thinking straight with their knowledge. Now, when we are misusing their information, or when we are not actually understanding what it is that our Gedla ancestors are all about, obviously, when they are coming with this information, this strategic tactics on or in our dreams, we wouldn't understand them. Because if we think they are for other things, they are for other purposes, when they are their main skills were about intelligence for our survival, intelligence, gathering intelligence for our survival, right? That was Amagedla's mission, gathering intelligence, going in disguises, right? Giving us these codes sometimes in dreams, like in songs, the songs that they sing as well. They've got coded messages in them, telling us how we're supposed to be doing things as we are dealing with our enemies. Meaning that our enemies will see us singing out there when we have coded messages within songs. We are singing to each other saying we should be doing this and doing that. so that we protect our things, mostly land, resources, and for the survival of our people, right? So that is our Gedla ancestors. That is what they are there for. They are not there for us to be selling herbs, for selling herbs so that we can use to bewitch each other, or selling herbs so that we can gain advantage, be loved, right? They are for big things, for the collective, not for personal gains, for the collective. That is the purpose of Abugedla ancestors, or Amagedla, or the Gedlas, right? In our dreams. Now, when they come, most of the time they don't reveal themselves to everyone, because remember, these are secret people. We'll call them, if we were to just use English words, they're like our ancestors who were in secret missions, right? Who were in secret missions. So they don't just come to everyone. And not everyone can initiate them, or not everyone will be able to understand, or even when you see them, when someone, let's say maybe you are sent for your other ancestors have sent you to another healer, that healer doesn't know much about working with Abugedla, right? They wouldn't reveal themselves to that person, because remember, Abugedla, they tend to want to reveal each other from Gedla to Gedla, because they're supposed to be working secretly in a collective, right? With others. Remember, if we want to be protected, certain things have to be hidden in plain sight, right? Hidden in plain sight. So, meaning that, like for me, I don't have the Gedla ancestors. I learned about Gedla ancestors for a reason. Not because obviously I'm supposed to know something, for a reason. That is how you learn about the Gedla ancestors, for a reason. I think I blab a lot. I talk too much, so I doubt they will be coming to me. But Gedla ancestors are for intelligence. That is what their mission were all about. They are for intelligence. Even when they come in those dream stage, when they're training you, when they're teaching you things in those dreams, they're teaching you, see, is more of like a psychological warfare kind of things. Like they mess with people's mind using different tactics, using the ancient knowledge, using different kind of tricks to mess with you. I mean, if you know about spider's web, the traditional spider's web, the way the ancestors talk about traditional spider's web, right? If you think mind control, you deal with Abugedla, or the Gedla ancestors. That's where they will be teaching you. Even in those dream states, the Gedla ancestors will laugh with you, and they'll laugh with you and then terminate you afterwards within seconds, right? If you're an enemy, remember that I'm talking about the teaching dreams, the Ketla teaching dreams. Their teaching dreams are more, they're serious kind of dreams, right? We are talking about high level intelligence in there. Using ancient, and now adding it with modern. Because remember that at this day and age, our ancestors, when they were those other ones who died before we had internet, we had computers, right? So they will work with what they see us using at this particular day and age, like internet. They'll work with that and use their ancient knowledge so that they can teach you about how we're supposed to deal with our enemies, or how we're supposed to be infiltrating others and stuff like that. A lot of us, when we get this knowledge, remember that it's difficult now to think about it as in as traditional healers, right? it might be difficult for others to actually even try to absorb it, as in like a traditional healers with this modern day age. How are we gonna be using the knowledge of our Gedla ancestors in this kind of system that we are in? Because a lot of our kingdoms, even though they are still there, they are not actually. It's either the people who are there, they're using the current systems and they've forgotten about, because you find that a lot of our kings and queens, they are more now using the system. They're like the beliefs have changed. So gaining knowledge from the spiritual side of things might be difficult. So how are we supposed to work with this as spiritualists? Because the knowledge of Gedlas are very good, because if you think about it, in this day and age, remember, ours is spiritual knowledge, intelligence, right? Ours is of spiritual intelligence. If we're to use it, let's say I am Gedla here in London, UK, and there's a Gedla in South Africa, in Joburg, in South Africa. Spiritually, we can communicate with each other, right? About things, plan things, and no one will have an idea. We won't even leave any track of any information whatsoever. Information will be strictly we will speak in dream state, or telepathically speak with each other, right? Using our Gedlas spiritually. If we were really, if our people were, our current system were able to use us, the Gedlas who are people who are operating with the Gedlas properly, that is how fast we will get, right? And that's how much power our Gedlas have, right? If we were to be used the right way. Because that is the highest form of intelligence. So you don't have to plan things where you're talking on the phone about planning while you're being listened to. Someone is listening on your communication on the phone about what you're planning. Let's plan together with each other so we can go on strike, right? There's nothing like that. You communicating in the dream state, you're meeting in the dream state, or you're spiritually meeting, as in telepathically meeting with each other and talking about what to do for the survival of our communities or for the survival of our people, right? That is how it will be done. I'm talking about if not in songs, we can do that spiritually, right? That is, if we were to be using our spiritual intelligence in this day and age. And we're using our Gedla ancestors the right ways, the right way that they're supposed to be used. Because that is what they are supposed to be. Because these are like patriotic people, right? They will die. They will die with that information, right? But the question I'm asking is, how do we use the knowledge that they are giving us, the knowledge that they're giving us in dreams, or the knowledge that they're feeding us when we are listening to them? How do we use it in this day and age? Because it doesn't seem like we can use it the right way. We can use it, right? It doesn't feel like we can use it. But how can we work with this system that we are in at this particular moment to use our Gedla ancestors? Let's see how you. Hi, Tobela. I'm fine. I'm well. Just so the last wish I could stay, but work has with. Okay, all right. We'll come back and watch recordings. Yes. So how can we use their knowledge? How can we use their knowledge? Because these were serious people, the Gedlas. They were very good at concealing information. They were very good at finding out how we can use, certain things. Let's just say it like this. I've thought about Bokhehla because the more I learn about Amagedla or the Gedla ancestors, with what is happening now in Africa and stuff like that, I'm thinking this is serious intelligence, right? It's serious knowledge. And if we were to use it as we're supposed to use it. I mean, how far we'll get far, isn't it, as people? We'll get far. We'll go far, right? We'll go far. So what can we do now? What can we do now? When you learn that you've got those ancestors, what can you do with the knowledge that you have? What can you do? Personally, yes, it's good to have that kind of knowledge because it will help you. It will help you, as in for self-preservance, preserve yourself, protect yourself. It will help you for self-awareness because they're very good as well as studying people, the Gedlas. They will teach you how you study people, how you listen to people, and be there without actually, like exposing yourself as in you're supposed to be, just be there, like as if you're mingling, but collecting information and stuff like that. And, they've got all those kind of knowledge and as well as setting out boundaries, using certain herbs for certain things, like for ailments, using certain herbs. But remember that when you have the Gedla ancestors, they are literally not there for playing stuff, right? So some herbs that they'll be teaching you, they're not herbs that are supposed to be used recklessly, right? The Ketlas, the Gedla ancestors, the herbs that they teach you, they are not supposed to be recklessly used because there were herbs or there were mutis or medicine that were supposed to be used to make sure that the enemy doesn't come back, right? They were supposed to be used that the enemy doesn't come back. Now, if you think about it this way, because a lot of this information that they show us, right? A lot of information that they show us now, you find that they're showing us even, like now what is happening now with out there, the spies, how they use their things, like some gases that get out the fumes that really mess people up, like radiation and stuff like that. The ancestors, they've got that knowledge, right? Because they know certain minerals or certain rocks that can be used for that purposes that they, when you use them the right way, you'll find that they will get certain fumes that can be very destructive, right? As in, it can take like yeah. So anyway, the reason why I'm talking about this is just that when we get the Gedlas in our dreams, we need to remember that these people are not there for playing stuff, right? They're there for important things. They are really not there for playing around. They are there for some serious missions. So when they're coming to us, we need to be aware of that. And even the things that they are asking of us, they are not just for decorative purposes. Obviously, we might not use the ancient things, obviously, like when they're giving us they're asking us to collect certain things for them. Obviously, they will be ancient now. They might not be used in modern times, but they are good as in to have them at home because you can look at how they were using certain things in those days and compare them to what can be used in this modern day and age, right? And when they're coming to you as well, you have to remember that as they're feeding you ancient information, you have to use your physical body and this new intelligence. You need to go out there, seek out information as well, so that you feed them things that are happening now, so that they become aware of things that are happening now. Obviously, they know, because obviously, if they're showing you things, they're showing you things that are going to be happening in future. They know about what is actually needed. But remember, they are for the survival of our people. They are not there for playing around. They are for the survival of our people. The survival. So to be in this day and age, to go through the things that as people are going through at this moment, and looking at the things that have happened in the past, things haven't changed. Things haven't changed. So if we are not using the Gedla ancestors the right way, that means in future, in 50 years' time, we might still be going through different kind of languages, like whoever that comes in, take over. We have to convert into the language, their beliefs and stuff like that. So Abu Gedla, or the Gedla ancestors, they were trying as much as they were to stop those things from happening, so that we can preserve our cultural, our beliefs, we can preserve our values, we can continue as we're supposed to have our identity, individualism and stuff like that, so that we can thrive as people, because that's what they were there for to make sure that we thrive. Now, it's very difficult to thrive in a system that keeps on using an advantage over you. I'm talking about, remember that the Gedla ancestors are not for personal, they're for the collective. Now, I'm talking about, it's difficult to thrive as people when your leg is being used against you. So the Gedlas were there to try to avoid that. Now, when I'm talking about the leg being used against you, now look at the situation that is happening now with aid, right? That is happening, like they will stop aid because that is a threat, or it will happen, and certain things will stop if we don't do what someone wants, right? That is threat. That is threat for the whole population, right? It is a bad thing. It's not even supposed to exist in the first place. So the Gedla ancestors were to stop those things. They would have been seeking out information ahead so that we exist the following day. For our existence, so for future survival of the people. So they were there for that reason. But circumstances now might be making it difficult to see the intelligence that comes with the Gedla ancestors. But we should use their knowledge the rightful way. Very much so, the rightful way. That is what it was all about. And kanyang.